Hi guys, today I want to show you my new Fauxdori. So I originally got the diary that's inside of here, and then I put the actual Fauxdori part together afterwards. But I'll go through it in the order of the setup, but I'll talk about the diary when I get to it, as the sort of main focus of this Fauxdori. So the actual leather, the elastic and all that stuff, the thing that makes it a Fauxdori, is from a kit from Leather for Craft on eBay. I'll put the link below. They also have a website. I can actually show you on here. That's where it's from. It's a really good kit. I posted a picture on the Midori group on Facebook. It came with the leather with the pre-punched holes, so these holes on the spine, the elastic, and both of these were my colour choice, so I love that the green contrasts with the pink. I like that it clashes, but in a nice bright way, not in a kind of eye blinding way. And it came with an instruction sheet on how to thread the elastic, a needle, which was really good because when I was reading the instruction book, the instruction sheet, I was like, oh, but I don't have a needle, because I normally poke the elastic through with a sharp pointy thing like my leather awl or my paper pokey tool. But when I turned the card that the elastic was wrapped around over, it had the needle taped to it, which was great because that means that I can use it in the future. Here's Chloe. Hi, Chloe. You're moving the camera. Come on, the other way. And it came with a load of samples of leather, which was great. I'm not sure if they're in the normal kit, but she's going to walk under the tripod legs in a minute. But it was absolutely fantastic because I'd already thought of she's going to be in frame now. I'd already thought of getting the purple, the turquoise and the lime green, and then looking at them I was able to realise that I really like the raspberry colour as well. Actually, bear with me 1 second. You can have a look at Chloe in really close shot and I'll go and get my samples and show you. Here we go, I'm back. Okay, so it came with loads of samples and the shapes that they cut out of the leather that you've selected, and also I got one in this nice bluey green colour. So here are the bright samples, the pink, the plum, which I've got in a Fauxdori that Ray made, a Raydori, and this is the raspberry, which is quite reddy orange, which I really like, purple, the turquoise, the lime green, and this is a jade green, which is the same as this one, and I actually really like it. I don't normally like green, but I really like it. And so I was thinking I would get the pink, which I've got now, and then my sort of default colours, if I can't choose one colour, I always get 3. So for example, when I first tried watercolour pencils, I got pink, purple and turquoise. If I were to pick, you know, 3 standard colours without thinking about it too much, I would pick those 3. And then I really like lime green, and then this orange is nice too. So those are those colours, and then here are the darker shades, and I was really interested to see the browns because it's really hard to tell what they look like on screen. So this is black, which is a less pebbly leather. It's much smoother. So can we get your tail out of the way? So if you can see the pebble on the plum, this is so smooth. This is much more like the Midori leather actually. So if you want to make your own Midori style one with the Midori style leather and you want it in black, this is a great black. So it's the Country Soft 4 Craft Collection Black from Leather for Craft. And then we've got a slate blue and an olive green, which is a nice sort of brown as well, although it's called green. And then we've got the 4 browns, and I think I like this one best, which is Havana. Okay, so back to the actual Fauxdori. So you put it together yourself, you follow the instructions on the instruction sheet, and then, you know, you can put your own charm on. So I've got this one, donut, that looks all opalescent. It's really beautiful. And then you just put your inserts in like you do with a normal one. Okay, so I made this folder out of some scrapbook card. I did try to make Marianne's 6-pocket folder, but the size of the card meant that the long pockets on the back weren't only to this width. They had all this opening, which meant that anything I put in there fell out. So I just cut it down and made it a 4-pocket folder with small pockets on the outside and big pockets on the inside. And I really like the card, and I've chosen yellow washi tape to complement the yellow in the flowers. And then I've got this washi tape, which is green background, yellow flowers, white flowers, and the sort of green leafy stems, which matches perfectly. I've got my bus pass, which is huge. I normally get a smaller one. It's too big to fit in a credit card slot, so it's got to stay in here, and try not to lose it, but hopefully it won't fall out. And I've got this clip on the top because when I get my normal size bus pass, which is the same size as a credit card, that's where I'll keep it up there, and I'll just hold it up to the bus driver and you can see. I've cut some A4 paper into A5 size, folded it in half and put it under the elastics, and this is just going to be for notes, temporary notes, because this isn't my main notebook. It's not stapled or stitched. I can just take the page out when I'm finished with it and put a new page in. There's only 4 pieces of paper, which makes 16 sides. I normally transfer these notes into my A5 Vanderspec. Okay, and here are receipts because I've got to write them on my expenses. My budget. I have got my K paperclip thingamabob, and I had to tape it to the back because it can slide. And my mum got me some lovely postcards. I was going to make them into Vanderspec A6 size dividers, which I did on a lot of them. I keep them in my A6 inserts box. I punched holes in a lot of them and put them in my A6 Vanderspec or my senior Vanderspec. I've got a senior Touch Me. But when I am using this, I can't use them as dividers, obviously, so I just put them under here and have something pretty or motivational on the front cover of this one, which is my diary. This is an MD sort of notebook, A6 notebook. It's the grid one, and it's not actually a diary. They do make a diary one, but I like making my own diaries out of existing notebooks. So what I did was, and they give you these stickers to stick on, which is cool, I'm using it like a bullet journal type diary. So the back, I have got my collections, and this goes from the back forward, so kind of like that Middle Eastern, you start from the what we call the back, you turn the pages right, and it goes, that's page 1, that's page 2, that's page 3, that's page 4, because then it can expand. I don't have to say, well, I'll start this far into the back and then go, oh, I've run out of pages now. I can expand into the book. So I've got my current lists. This is my satellite. It comes with me when I go out, when I go to work, when I'm walking around town, stuff like that. So this holds my diary. This is my only diary. I can't deal with writing my diary in more than one place, and the only time that I'm ever going to change that is when I go back to uni in September. I am going to have a Dodo pad A5 in my university planner, which will be mainly for lists and then for my work and stuff, putting notes and drafts and things in there. I might buy an A5 Van der Spek Touch Me, possibly in the new Janet leather colour. So I will have my A5 Dodo pad in there, which worked really well in my third year of uni and my MA, I think. But this is my main diary because I can't deal with things being in more than one place. But when I'm out, I do need these lists with me. So it's shopping list, wish list, so that if I see something that I want but shouldn't really buy now, if I put it on my wish list, it saves me from buying it without considering whether I actually need it. So I have my wish list with me. Library books when they're due back, because although this can be a home list, if I go to the library, I'm an associate member of my local university library. I'm only allowed 6 books out at a time, so I know how many books I've got out and when I need to return them. So I can grab it on my way to work, you know, when I leave the house, take it with me to work, and then when I get off the bus, I usually walk past the library on campus so I can drop it in then. My waiting for list, because that's always something, if you're walking to work, if you're just, you know, sitting in the car, you think, wasn't I waiting for something in the post? And even though it's not really something that's important, it stops me from wondering, it stops me from worrying, really. Transfer, so I can put a piece of paper or a post-it note on here, stuff that I need to transfer into one of my other notebooks. Temporary planning, so instead of having to use a page in one of these notebooks for stuff that is only going to be relevant for the next week or so, I can put it on a post-it note, stick it on here, and then transfer it over to that week when it comes. Near future to-dos, ideas or projects, so this is now part of my actual planner. Goals, expenses, random to-dos, and my currently list, which I haven't actually made out. The rest of it, projects, other lists, themed to-do lists, like for example housework that are big projects, that sort of thing, live in here. But this stuff I do like having with me on a daily basis when I'm out. But the actual diary, which Americans call calendar, not a journal diary, a planner diary, I first started doing week on 1 page plus notes. As you can see, I've only started using it since this Monday and just gone. This is for forward planning, and that is important because I use this consecutively. I don't have 1 day per page because I wouldn't fill it up. As you can see, some days I missed out Tuesday and Saturday because I didn't have anything to write. So if I have something that I need to remember, oh, I need to do this Friday, I can't make a note of it in here because I haven't written up Friday's, you know, I haven't got a slot for Friday yet, so I do need a weekly page. This is for things like forward planning, for implementing my non-daily to-do. So for example, if I write in one of these lists, like the future to-dos section, send something to my friends, I could, can I be out of the way? I can write it on here and then I'll go, well, I'll do that on Thursday then. Or if it's something where I know I've got to do it this week, Chloe's going to get in the way now. She's walking through the tripod legs. Get out the way. Thank you. I can write it on here, and then when I come to that day, I'll actually transfer it onto my bullet journal lists. Sorry about the gap there. My camera ran out of battery. Okay, so for some reason I don't really like this page here. So for a couple of weeks I'm going to try having my pocket-sized Dodo pad washi taped onto the side, you can't really see it there, so that I have like the weekly bullet journal, such as this on here, and then although it won't fit in frame, I'll have my week page on the right, so I'll try that. Yes, so I am using the bullet journal style now, i.e. just as much room as I need for each day, or as little room as I need for each day, or not even having that day in at all, like I didn't have Tuesday or Saturday. But when I was testing it out to see if I liked it, I didn't do this consecutive to-dos in a list style. I did to-dos on the left, the what I want to do on the right. I think it was what I want and what I needed to study down here, and reminders down here. So I might try that. So the beauty of this is that I'm able to change things, to take on new ideas, to stop doing certain things. So I love setting up my own diaries, whether I draw them out by hand, I print off my own designs, I print off a few designs from different styles, such as the ones on Fauxdori, which are brilliant and implement them how I want. I just love being able to customize it for my needs, but I love that if you don't have a pre-printed diary, you feel like you're able to customize it yourself more. So for example, I don't have the rest of the year in here, so I don't feel like I need to keep doing a week like this. I could have day per page on one page at a time. I could, you know, draw in this week or not. I could do whatever I want, which is great because my planner style is constantly changing, constantly evolving depending on what I am doing at that time, what I need to start doing. So for example, I'm going to start putting in a routines bar here where I have a box for each thing and I tick it off as I've done it. If I am going to really be strict on my planning, I think I will go to day per page. And then if I have a day where I don't really write much, if I finish it halfway along, I might do a little drawing at the bottom and colour it in with coloured crayons and make it pretty. When I go back to university, I know that I will probably stick to A6 size because it's brilliant. I love this size. I love the proportion of the paper. I love that when you go like this, it's A5. I love that you can just fold up an A5 piece of paper in half and stick it in here, you know, just slide it into a book, put it in the folder. I love that you can even fold up a piece of A4 paper and fold it up and put it in here. It's great, but the thing is, when I go to university, I know that I'll probably need the flexibility of a ring binder, so that's why I might go back to my A6 Vanderspec, or I might stick to this. I don't know. I might switch between them as I need to, but the A6 size is great, and the flexibility of this bullet journal style is fantastic. But if I do need to switch to a ring binder, I have the option of my A6 Vanderspec. So this diary, this MD notebook, is quite thick. It's something like 179 pages. 176 pages, but I've put my monthly planner in the middle, which I use for forward planning. So obviously I don't have any forward planning ability except for beyond the current week, so that's what this is for. And then I'll transfer it into that weekly spread on Sunday night when I'm planning. And then this book here, this is from Leather Fallcraft. It was in the kit, which was great. I'm going to decorate the cover, and I'm going to put in a piece of scrapbooking card here as a sort of divider between the two halves. The back half will be referenced, so all of the stuff that I need to know when I'm out of the house, which won't be a lot. It won't really take up this much paper, but I can always use it for something else as well. So it's going to be my mum and dad's working times, bus rota, important phone numbers, and in case of emergency thing, stuff that I need to know when I'm out, or stuff that I need to know at a quick glance that is important that I carry with me all the time. And then in the front is going to be something that is an optional extra. I don't have to include it, but I like including it. So when I do this a lot, when I'm sitting down thinking about planners, I write down what I need in them. And when you have thought about it as much as I have, you have switched into different types of planners, you realise that what you have consistently in each planner is the stuff that you really need and the stuff that you can't live without. So it's great when you realise that. So I know I need a diary and the organisation lists, which is what's in the MD notebook, and then I need a temporary note section, and I need my reference, and I needed a folder to stick things in, like my receipts and my bus pass. But I also really wanted this fun stuff section, and this is sort of a relief from the stresses of every day, or when you're feeling a bit miserable because the weather's horrible, or because, you know, your day at work is dragging or something like that. Especially when I was at university and I used to get stressed with essays and I used to sit in the library, I used to want something to cheer me up. So that's what I'm going to do for the first half. If you've seen Enjoyette's video of her motivation pages, it's going to be a bit like that. It's going to be a bit scrapbooky, like I had in the front of my personal size Filofax for a long time. I had a page where, before I even knew what scrapbooking was, that it even existed, my mum sent me some Hello Kitty lollies, and she wrapped them in this wrapping paper that I'd completely forgotten about. But as soon as I saw it, I remembered that it used to be in the wrapping paper box when I was little, and it's this really cute cats on a windowsill of a little cottage scene. And so I stuck it down with washi tape, my only roll of washi tape that I ever had up until I sort of got into buying more of it. So my one roll of washi tape, I stuck a bit there and I stuck a bit there, and I stuck 2 stickers on, and that was just something cheerful for me to look at, and it reminded me of my childhood, and it was so pretty, and it was like a sentimental thing that my mum had sent me, and it was lovely. So it's that sort of thing. I'm also thinking of putting my lists in here, my fun lists, so my TV programmes I love to watch, books that I want to read, that sort of thing. It's completely unnecessary. I don't need it at all because it should live in my Vanderspec. But for some reason, it just makes me happy. And I just love writing lists. So looking at things that I love, you know, my things that I want to do in my life, like a bucket list, things that, you know, just cheer me up. It's nice to look at them even though they're not necessary. This is a book for, this whole thing is my diary, which is really, really essential, and my stuff that I need when I'm out. That is the whole purpose of this thing. But having that extra section that cheers you up, that makes you feel sentimental or happy or anything like that, is really nice to have with you. So I don't know if I've got anything else to say. I might buy some stickers, you know, the pocket stickers to put on the front, but actually I think what I'm going to do with the corner is make a secretarial pocket out of I said that wrong, out of card, and stick it on with Wash and Go, I think that's what it's called, the fabric glue. I did that in a video, because this is extremely floppy leather and I want to stiffen it up so that it doesn't accidentally curl in my bag and get bent. So I might do that. I am intending to get those other colours, the green, blue, purple and maybe the orange and probably the brown as well. So this, I'm just going to literally lift the contents out and put it into the other colours. So if I stick with this one for at least a month and I'm still happy with the whole setup, because I tend to switch out, get bored of a planner or hit planner fail and buy something else or use something else that I've already got. As long as I stick with this one for at least a month, I know that I'll stick with it long term, so then I can buy the other ones that I want, in which case I will take the whole contents out and put it in the other colour when I rotate between them. So yeah, that's about it, I think. I will do another video in a month or so when I've set up and been using it for the whole month. And yeah, so thanks for watching.